How's it going today? I'll be happy to answer any questions that I can.
How beneficial is it to be getting to go to LA and practice against someone else again this year?
We'll see how it goes. I'll probably answer that question after we do it. We're encouraged. We've done it before with the Rams. We did it with the Lions. I think if everybody cooperates and plays with the right etiquette, we'll get a lot out of it, but we'll have to wait and see.
John, there are certain things different than when you're at this facility, when you do the intra-squad that you're looking for with the units?
Not really. A lot of the one-on-ones and the pass rush, we'll get different matchups, see different people. It'll be a good eye-opening experience for the young players. And other than that, we'll have situations, 2-minute drill, we'll have some red zone, we'll have some second and longs and third down situations, much like we've done here. So it'll be fun to see some different fronts, see some different coverages, see some different players.
They had a couple of spirited practices with the Cowboys. You have obviously some competitive spirits on this team. Is that something that you obviously stress to avoid, or do you like to see that competitive fire? Maybe there's some pushing and shoving. I mean, you don't want to stress that, but
we don't want any pushing and shoving and fighting. That's not competitive. That's stupidity. We got to keep our poise and get our work done. And I didn't really see the other scrimmage, so I don't know what happened. But we're going to practice with the same etiquette that we practice here, and our players have done a great job of that. I expect theirs to do the same.
I know it's an exhibition game this weekend, but how do you balance as a coach when it comes to how much you show from a play calling standpoint when you're kind of practicing against the team that you're about to play later that week?
Yeah, it's hopefully the film doesn't get out there. Hopefully it doesn't get on the internet, all over YouTube, Facebook, whatever other outlets there are. Hopefully the video coaches keep it internal, but we're not going to show everything, but we're going to continue to try to get better. And you have to prepare yourself for the season, and that means you got to do things you're going to do in September. So we're going to try to do some of those things against the Rams, and I'm sure they will too.
How nice was it to see 83 on the field today, and how did he look?
Now that'll bring a smile to my face. He was great today. He makes his presence felt right away, after the catch down the field. He's a phenomenal talent. We got a lot of guys returning. Carl Joseph showed up. Isaiah Johnson showed up. Diablo got some reps today. So we got a lot of guys that are on the fringe of coming back. Marcus Mariota practiced. So it was very encouraging to have Waller back, and he looked just like we expected him to.
A couple of guys that you had out there today that we hadn't seen in a while, Isaiah Johnson and Devon Diablo. I know it's only one day of practice, but how good was to see them back out there?
Well, it's great. We're really encouraged with Devine. He had an injury. We feared it was worse than it was, and I give him a lot of credit. While we were all on vacation having a good time, he was here 2 days rehabbing, and he's ready to go. We're going to protect him here for the next 4 or 5 days as he gets acclimated to pads, but there's a good chance you see him against the 49ers. And Isaiah, the same thing. We're going to kind of put the boat in the water this next few days and hopefully get him on the grass against San Francisco in that last preseason game.
You didn't have a Tanner Muse all season last year. You got to play Saturday. Now that you've seen the tape, what did you think about how Tanner looked?
Well, he looked good on special teams. His speed shows up, his instincts show up on special teams. Defensively, he made a couple plays. We're not on our base defense a whole lot, so you don't see a whole lot of him. But I did like when Richard Smith put him in at a different linebacker spot in our nickel. He got a chance to play a couple positions, and he showed some versatility. He still has a ways to go, but he is improving.
Taking another look at the tape, what do you think of Andre James and Leatherwood? Pretty good.
Andre off to a good start. I think Alex, same thing. We got to clean up some of our rules. But all in all, a really good start. That opening drive, I think, was 14 plays. And I think, as I said the other night, we converted a number of third downs. Somebody had to be blocking.
What stood out about getting to know and having Quentin Jefferson around this year?
What stood out about what?
Quentin Jefferson.
Well, he's a productive player. He's an experienced guy. He gives you some inside pass rush. He can get on the edge and beat you with speed. He can beat you across your face with quickness, and he can run over you. He's got some power. So we got a lot of depth at that position. I'm really excited about when McCoy comes back. with Solomon Thomas and Phylon, who's playing really good. We've got some men that we haven't had here in a long time, guys that can make something happen inside.
You guys all set?
John, you talked about the fans and how important they are. I'm curious, with the announcement last night of them being able to ensure fans come now that are vaccinated, is there any reaction in terms of making sure fans stay in these buildings?
Well, I just support the decisions that are being made. Every state, every team is probably going to have a different view on this. I support the decision that was made. I'll be anxious to see as many Raider fans as possible with no mask. That's what I'm excited about. They can make more noise that way. But I know it's a touchy subject for a lot of people, but I do support the direction we're heading, and I encourage everybody that I know to get the vaccine and come and join us.
Coach, there was a lot of excitement about B.J. Emmons and Trey Regis in their running game on Saturday. On the tape, was there anything that stood out in the passing game as far as pass protection?
Yeah, the tape's out there. If you watch Regis, he's 3 for 3 in pickups. I think, Emmons is still a work in progress, but, they're talking about those young running backs. They ought to talk about Tim Burbernick, the running back coach. He did a hell of a job with those young guys. But both of them are really getting better, and this will be another test, though, this week. They'll see some different blitzes and some different kinds of looks.
Speaking of that running back room, Josh has been really outspoken, saying that he pushed for Kenyon to come and he was blowing you guys up. You joked that he was Emmons' agent the other night. I know you're probably looking at those guys anyway, but how much does it mean when one of your Pro Bowlers, main guys like Josh, is pushing for guys?
Well, players know players. Players. I call them players. They know players. Some of the guys I meet are players. Playahs. When you got a real player that puts forth as much effort and just, relentless effort that Jacobs does, he knows who works. He knows who's got talent. He knows who's tough because he's at top of the line in all those categories. So we listen to him. All right, guys. See you in L.A. if you guys are going.
Hey Tanner, this is Deshaun Reed from the Athletic. I know it's an exhibition game, but last week you had the chance to play linebacker in an actual game for the first time, I believe. Start playing football. How do you think you performed, and what was it like doing that in a real game?
It was surreal for me, just being able to get back out there in front of the fans. It was awesome. I was just super excited. Had some family there as well, so everything went well. I think I played well. We watched the film, made some corrections on some little things, so you can only get better from it. So, looking forward to the next week.
How comfortable are you just at linebacker? It was kind of a new experience. Was it weird to you to be in that position at an actual game, or how did it feel?
It felt great. I spun down a lot at safety at Clemson, so it felt natural. I was in the spots that I've been in prior throughout my career, so it was no big deal. Just a little adjustment. Used my hands a little more, but outside of that, it was great.
How much is it easier to go out there and compete knowing that you're 100% healthy?
Oh, it's so easy. I don't have to think about anything. I can just get to fly around. I don't want to count my steps or anything like that like I've done in the past couple of years. I can just explode out of cuts and drops. It's a new me,
You dealt with an injury last year, obviously, but have you had to sort of reconfigure your body to bulk up or get bigger to adjust to playing linebacker from where you were in college?
Yeah. We've done a lot of work over the year that I was out in the weight room and in the medical staff. Drew and Rick, they've been a great support for me, just keeping me flexible, being able to move like a linebacker, and then obviously bulk up and be able to use my hands and be stronger at the point of attack.
How frustrating was last year? Just looking back on it, in the moment I'm sure it felt one way, and now just looking back to you work your whole life to be in the NFL, and then you have to watch games the whole first season. So how did that feel for you?
It was tough for sure, just not being able to be around the team, especially on traveling, and that camaraderie that comes with the team, being in the locker room after wins, losses. It hurts as a competitor, but it was necessary to get to where I am today. So I don't look back on anything and wish any way else. I just keep going forward.
Sort of on that note, Tanner, having to watch from the sidelines, how much more did that make your appreciation grow for being able to play on Saturday and being able to play this season?
Yeah, I hadn't experienced that in the 5 years I was really at Clemson. Got to play most of the games, and being able to just sitting out and then really not even be able to come into the stadium yet. It was very difficult, but like I said, just got to keep moving forward.
They understand Gordon, Las Vegas Review-Journal. With that in mind, what do you learn from not playing, and what kind of perspective did you glean from not being able to play? Was there anything that you learned or picked up on that you didn't know before?
Yeah, you get to learn from others' mistakes. Sometimes it's hard when you're the guy. You make mistakes. You got to learn through the game, and then that's on tape and things like that. But when you're watching from like film or on the TV, you have a different understanding of how that person messed up and how it could be fixed, and you don't even have to go through the pain of messing that play up. So it's good.
You mentioned feeling comfortable out there playing that linebacker position. How much has linebacker coach Richard Smith helped you be comfortable as well?
Yeah, he's on me. He's on me every day, just trying to get me my technique right, my eyes, my hands, everything. Every single snap, I get a review from him and corrections. So if I can go through that every single day and understand those corrections, remember those corrections, and make them better during the game, then that's what we've been doing. He's been great for me, really has.
What do you see your role as on this team this season?
I think my role is going to be the auto linebacker, and then being able to go with the inside linebackers, being able to rotate whenever I'm needed, and then just got to be the guy on special teams.
Speaking of special teams, Coach Gruden said that he felt that was something that you did really well in the preseason game. Is that something that you think you continue to excel at?
Yeah. That's why I'm here. I got to be the guy and make a lot of plays. I should have made 2 tackles on the kickoff. I let one get away from me, but yeah, I got to be the guy. Simple as that.
What are your thoughts on your guys about to get on the bus and head to LA, scrimmage against the Rams? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm excited. I've seen it on TV and things like that. I know it's going to be good on good. That's what I like to do, and I'm excited. It's going to be, I mean, you got 2 days with them, so it's going to be good. And then we play a preseason game against them, so they're going to know kind of your tricks after the first day. Then you got to really figure it out, like how you're going to manipulate your tricks and beat the man across from you. Good one-on-ones.
Be glad to go against someone else.
Yeah. I mean, I like it here, but yeah, be in LA. I haven't been in LA, so it's exciting.
From the moment you were drafted, you mentioned special teams, and it's something you take a lot of pride in your game. When did that develop? When did that become such a big part of what you do?
As soon as I got into Clemson, I knew I had a little bit of speed coming into Clemson, and then Coach Hobby, our D-line coach at Clemson, he's telling me I had to be the guy on kickoff. So I just took that personal, and ever since then I've been like, I just got to make an impact however I can on special teams. I mean, it can change the game, truly.
You had a play where you had kind of a free rush in the game the other day. You got to knock down a pass. As you're coming free, did your eyes light up, or how were you feeling?
Yeah. I was excited because they didn't fan the protection to me, so I had a free go. I was hoping he's going to make a move, and I was going to be able to chase him down. Geno Smith, I've looked up to him when he was at West Virginia. I mean, he had a career there, but yeah, he just threw the ball. Wish I would have picked it. That'd have been sweet. Scored in the end zone where my mom was, but yeah, it was it was awesome.
What was your takeaway from the stadium, the fans? You obviously didn't get to experience all of it last year. I mean, what was your I guess pregame looking around, or how was it during the game?
Yeah, so pregame I always run the field before I get started, and Mom and her friends were sitting front row, so off the jump I got to see her, and I knew I was in the right place. Just the fans, the atmosphere, everything about it was, it just felt like I was home.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
Sweet, thank y'all.